Hey there guys, it's Luke here, your digital concierge with Gramophone. Today we're going to be taking a look at another winner from Audeze, but this time it's the big one. This is the LCD4. Being the definition of uncompromised audio and the representation of over 40 years of research into the planar magnetic driver for headphones, the LCD4 is the best offering of LCD's product stack, and it truly stands in a class of its own versus almost anything else. This unit is no holds barred and all stops pulled. The best that the company called Audeze can possibly produce. And boy, does it demonstrate. And guys, we're gonna get into every detail of why the LCD4 stands in that class as truly one of the greatest headphones in the world. And quite frankly, for audiophiles, something that qualifies as an eighth wonder if you ask me. But before we do that guys, make sure you get subscribed to the Gramophone channel and click that bell notification icon over in the corner, because we've got many great things on the way for you guys, including more products a lot like this and many, many more. So I don't want to see you miss out on anything. Now then, the LCD4 and what makes a headphone flagship. First and foremost, this is a US made product, and obviously we can't celebrate that enough. Hand built by Audeze in California. This is an open back headphone design, pretty much like everything in the LCD line, save for their handful of closed back models that have popped up from time to time, and is based around their 106mm planar magnetic driver. Again, kind of a hallmark of what Audeze headphones are. But this is the grandest expression of that driver, built to the highest extent and producing the highest fidelity sound that you can possibly imagine from such a device. So what is it that separates the particular version of the Audeze driver in this headphone versus its lesser siblings? Well, first and foremost, this is a double flexar magnet design. You have a whole lot of neodymium magnets on both sides of that planar magnetic diaphragm. Those functioning as the drive motors deliver a ton of power and rapid split-second turn on a dime control. That way you extract virtually every detail you can get out of any particular song. If you're listening to something that has a particularly fast beat, for example, you just don't miss a single one. All that information is going to slam into your eardrum and just create the most blissful listening experience. The double flexor magnet is so powerful, in fact, that it actually set the world record for the amount of power delivered by a headphone circuit. We're looking at a world record holder. Yeah, flagship indeed. The other thing about the LCD4, and you don't necessarily find this on every Audeze product, so again, flagship, is that this has the phasor array. And what they help do is tune the frequency response to achieve a better balance by using the right shapes to change how the sound moving through rolls off and passes into your ear. And that's where phasor comes in, giving the LCD4 a sound that I would best characterize as meaty, almost like thick and heavy, yet detailed, which is almost a strange description, because you would think that something that I would describe that way would be on the darker side, maybe a little detail thin. But no, these are not. And I think their balance is something truly special. Personally, I'd say they lean a little bit toward that warmer side, but gosh, the transient response to just pick up those fast, high treble details that go shooting by in certain mixes, oh, they jump right out at you, and it's impossible to miss them. Another great thing about almost all Audeze headphones, turned up to the maximum value here, is their imaging ability. I love how you can put these headphones on and just pinpoint almost every sound from the direction it's coming from. These give you a wide soundstage, almost like you put a pair of speakers on your head rather than headphones, and you can shut your eyes while wearing a pair of headphones and almost just see in that your mind's eye that stage where the performers are playing. The diaphragm, which does all the movement necessary to create sound in this device, is Audeze's nanoscale Uniforce diaphragm. If you've seen our previous Audeze videos, you probably heard the word Uniforce before, but this one takes it to the next level, being among the most durable, thinnest, Lightest weight, yet most rigid and performant materials one can use for such a planar magnetic type of driver, this thing delivers that detail for days. And it can keep up with everything. Everything I just described about the soundstage, the transient response, the image, the width, and that sweet tonality, such a huge part of that is this nanoscale driver, and you only find that in the LCD4 grade products. It is the best that they have, and you can hear it. The LCD4s are good for producing 5 Hz to 50 kilohertz of frequency response, so well beyond the human range of hearing, which demonstrates just how good of a technical performance these can deliver. And not only is it a good technical performance if you've been following along, it's a great listening experience too. At 100 decibels of playback, they have a total harmonics distortion of just 0.1%, which is virtually undetectable, and that's at some pretty loud levels. Loud enough that too long and you will actually harm your ears. So don't go quite that high. So at a sane listening level, that figure is going to be even lower, making it, for all intents and purposes, non-existent, not there. Now this is a flagship headphone and you should do nothing less than pair it with a flagship amplifier. This is a 200 ohm headphone, so it needs a little juice to get moving. Trying to power these off a phone is a no-go. So look at some of the great amplifiers that we've covered here on the Gramophone channel, because you're gonna need it, but trust me, for good reason, because it will give you everything you could want out of a headphone like this, and you'll appreciate the power and the detail that the amp can push to a headphone of this grade as well. It all comes together for a whole experience. And on that note, Audeze recommends about 500 milliwatts of power at minimum to drive the LCD4s, and I find that to be a pretty accurate measure. Many of the products that we've covered here on the Gramophone channel as far as headphone amps go will be up to the task and sound great. These weigh 1.6 pounds. Now that is a little hefty for a pair of headphones, but you guys can kind of already see what these are made out of. However, it's not all that bad because they did a great job with the headband design, and once you get the spokes on the side dialed in, they have a very even clamping force and a very good uniform weight distribution across the headband. And in fact, they're quite comfortable. I can feel a little extra weight on my head, but it's really not bothering me. And that extra heft helps with the overall rigidity of the headphone, which is a good thing because that means that the headphone, just by virtue of being as solid as it is going to cancel out extra vibrations and maintain that playback purity. Also, the clamping force being strong enough to hold on tight but not enough to drive you crazy or cause you any discomfort is really going to help your bass tones. Because with bass, despite this being an open back headphone, you don't want any leakage from around the sides of the ear cups. You want to keep that all focused, going either in or out where the sound is intended to go. Now to talk about the overall look of the headphone and some of the materials, I'll start with the ear pads themselves, which are plush and lovely, by the way. These are real leather and they are just soft and supple to the touch. Like, this is no joke leather. This is good stuff. But for those of you who would prefer to have a leather-free option, there is an egg protein based material you can get that is deceptively like real animal hide. Also, did I mention that these headphones can get to know you personally? Luke, how do you mean? The type of foam that these are constructed out of will over time ever so slightly deform to the shape of your ear and head, further bettering the seal that this headphone makes and increasing comfort as time goes on. You know, we've really got to hand it to Audeze. They've built something that doesn't wither away with time, rather it actually gets better. Moving on from that, you could see that in the headband is one of my most favorite materials ever, good old carbon fiber. It's light, it's strong, and nothing looks that cool. Looking at the spokes on the side, these are light and rigid aluminum, complementing the look of the carbon fiber nicely, going from the glossy hatch pattern of the carbon fiber we all know and love, to a more matted, neutral black, and I kind of like that you get those two different shades. The adjustment spokes here on the side are a nice stainless that is very durable. I've never had an issue with any of these on Audeze products, and I really appreciate that because look at the range of movement they give you, and I could just keep doing this all day and it would cause virtually no damage or wear to the headphones. These are tanks, and they are built to last, as they should be for a flagship headphone. Looking at the sides, you can see the mirror polish finish on the metal grills. Looks awesome, and I love that they went with mirror here when they went with matte on the spoke. Again, contrast. Contrast is one of the best elements in any design. And that wood is a perfect touch for a flagship product, as it looks nothing but luxury, being right at home in either something like a walnut or briarwood furniture piece with that beautiful burl. Man, if I could dig up a root that looks that good and make something out of it. And it is an excellent addition to the headphone, because not only is it beautiful, but it's solid, it's quality, it's real wood burl. It only furthers the story of build excellence that is Audeze. Alright guys, and a quick note about compatibility on the LCD4. This is a passive headphone, 200 ohm impedance. So remember, get yourself a solid amplifier, but you deserve it. Flagship amp, flagship headphone. More specifically, this headphone ships with a very nice braided cable from Audeze that terminates in 1/4 inch, which is going to work with most better headphone amps. Though if you can, I highly recommend getting this in balanced XLR if your amp supports it, because On the other side, you have Audeze's little mini XLR connectors, which are a 4-pin, and these work like so. And I really like these, by the way. They may be proprietary, but it was a good implementation. They snap in, and they click and latch and make a nice solid fit, and of course, not to mention, an excellent connection, which is essential to any high-end listening experience. Remember, weakest link in the signal chain, don't let it be your cabling. Thankfully, Audeze has already covered us on that basis with an excellent cable with excellent terminations. And because it is removable, it does open up availability of aftermarket cables should you so choose. For just under $4,000, the LCD4s are the most exceptional of headphones and are built with a quality from Audeze unlike anything that most of us have probably ever seen until now. They are truly worthy of being called a flagship product and will give you an experience that is nothing less. Head on over to skybygramophone.com by clicking the link in the description down below, where you can check out securely and have these shipped fast and free straight to your door. Also, please call and stop by one of our showroom locations. You can find us in Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, Maryland, as well as at our Kitchen Design Center in Hunt Valley, Maryland. At each of our showrooms, you can demo many Audeze products. So if you're curious to hear these for yourself, or just go on a journey of discovery about high-end headphones, please come visit us. Speaking of visiting us, you can stop by on social media as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, as well as a few others. Check the links in the description. If you need any help coming up with project ideas, would like to schedule a service request, or would like to speak to a hi-fi home theater and interior design expert, get inspired at gramophone.com. Also, ask at gramophone.com if you have any questions for me about anything that I've covered here on the channel. I would love to help you out. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the Gramophone channel for all of your audio and home theater needs. As always, I want to hear back from you guys. Tell me what you think of the LCD4s and what you'd like to see from us in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I love being able to do this for you guys and love that you come and watch all of our content. Be seeing you.